Hi, everyone, and welcome to a special newscast from the Edge Computing Association. This is about Edge Computing World, and something we're taking part in. It's from December the 9th to the 12th at the Computer History Museum in Silicon Valley. So I wanted to find out a lot about it, so I thought, what better than get Gavin Whitechurch on screen with me and to tell me a little bit more about why he's doing it and whether you should go and maybe some of the topics. Let's just cover a little bit of Edge. It still is a fairly new topic in the tech side of things. Why are people coming to conferences, which means they want to talk, they want to learn, find out about things?
Hey Phil, so thanks very much for having me on. Hi everybody. It really is a time for edge computing at the moment. With you see it mentioned so much more in the press these days, and there's a lot of chat about it. And I think there's a number of factors that are driving people towards thinking about and talking about edge. But one of those is certainly the whole AI and data revolution, that's come hand in hand with IoT. So you think about IoT being a big technology wave that started probably back in 2013, 2014 in the modern era, certainly. And all of that is about capturing data, which you analyze. But what's happening is we're creating a huge amount of data, and that huge amount of data, for various reasons, practicality, cost, sometimes for reasons of privacy, people don't necessarily want to ship back to a central data center. Actually, if you're running a big AI application and sometimes you just can't put all that data across the internet, back across the internet to Amazon's data center or whatever. So, and that can be cost. It can also be for certain applications, latency, quickness, how quickly you get a response. So that's kind of the primary driver, I guess.
Okay, so just getting to the event itself. Maybe, I'm sure we've got a lot of people on the West Coast. A lot of people like to go down to that part of the world for conferences. What can they expect to learn, to find? Who are they going to bump into there, basically?
They'll meet other users, enterprises, OEMs, ISVs. They'll meet developers. And about half the audience, we think, will be across the Edge ecosystem. So that's all of the companies that are helping create the Edge infrastructure and make it work.
Okay. Maybe give us some of two or three, of the topics that are being covered so that people kind of go, oh, okay, maybe that's something I want to listen to.
Yeah, we're focusing a lot on how people are using the Edge or want to use the Edge. So we're hearing from companies like Procter and Gamble or Niantic, the people who created Pokemon Go, or also from HTC, a VR company, or from autonomous car companies. About why their services are going to be enhanced by the Edge and why it's necessary for the future of the internet.
Okay, and I mean, conferences are so all over the place these days, really, in terms of their structure. Tell us, so we fly in and get to Silicon Valley. What's how's it sort of set up? Is it going to be a big trade show, or this or that? Can we get some idea?
This is going to be quite an intimate event, so we think it'll be 500 to 700 people, but very much focused around the learning and the networking opportunities. And it's being held at the Computer History Museum, as you described earlier. So that's a very compact venue to allow people, they won't get lost wandering around a huge trade show hall. And the structure of the event is we've actually had many compliments about the content and structure of the program. So people are telling us they haven't seen a program that is as comprehensive, covering all the issues and with as good speakers around the issues of edge computing. And so On the core days of the 10th and 11th of December, we have keynotes in the morning and breaking into 3 tracks in the afternoon of use cases, technology implementation, and a developers conference. And the keynotes cover things that are of interest to the whole industry. So things like the use cases from the companies we were talking about earlier, but also how the hyperscale and telco cloud providers are going to come to market with these services. So understanding how things are going to play out in the industry.
Okay. Any kind of, I mean, you gave us the use case companies. Any sort of star speakers in terms of from the industry itself that are there?
Yeah, many of them, but just to pick off a few, I mean, from Amazon Web Services, Adrian Cockcroft, who's VP of Strategy there. I mean, he's got a long history in the cloud industry. He's the guy who built out Netflix that enables you to watch your wonderful TV services in your home, and behind that was a real expert in the early deployment of containers and Kubernetes, what we now call Kubernetes. From AT&T, from Federated, we had the CEO of Federated Wireless, which is the new CBRS operator in the US. Tarazi, I mean, he's a big star. He's attracting a lot of attention. And then we have some of the leading investors in Silicon Valley, people like Steve Jurvetson, he was an early investor in SpaceX and in Tesla. He's still on the board of those two companies.
Okay, that's very interesting. Okay, well, Gavin, I don't want us to keep going. This is just a little introduction. As I said, the Edge Computing Association will be down there collecting news, and we hope to see you as well at Edge Computing World, December the 9th to the 12th.
Look forward to seeing everybody there.
Yeah, and
world.com.
So thanks for coming on the newscast and informing our audience.
Fantastic.